Assalamu alaikum. Hadi's here. One of my favorite videos on YouTube is Jansonsilva's video, The Three Kind of Deaths. In this video, Janson-Silva goes like this: forever, forever, forever. That's the supreme desire. Nothing is real that is not forever. I recently came across an idea actually that I found disheartening, to say the least. There are three types of deaths. The first death is when you learn you're gonna die, the moment of self-consciousness, when you become awakened to your mortality. That's the first moment of being kicked out the garden of Eden, that self-consciousness, I am mortal. That's the first death. The second death is when you actually die, maybe 80 years after the fact that you first learn you're mortal, and then the moment you die and you're gone forever and you become food for worms. That's the second death. The third death is when the last time someone says your name. Because it said we live on the memories of others. We take up real estate in the mind of others. People look at photographs. I remember you with fondness. But then it might come a point, unless you're a legend, it will be someone is going to say your name for the last time, and that the third death. There is a faint disquiet that bubbles up in your belly when you actually contemplate the tragedy of such a thing, the idea that a sentient mind, that a sentient being with capacity for self-reflection, with capacity to love, with capacity to hope and dream and contemplate and ponder, with capacity for ecstasy and agony and anguish and awe, is to become extinguished by the same cosmos that engendered, that potentiated one's existence. What cool joke! To actually fathom non-existence after salivating and foaming at the mouth, one's capacity to be. Ellen Harrington wrote, any philosophy that accepts death must itself be considered dead. That questions meaningless. That consolations worn out. That consolations worn out. You cannot ennoble the bitter end. You cannot ennoble the abyss, the nothing, as they called in a never-ending story. I don't want the nothing. I want everything. There's an urge to carve one's name on the tree, to say I was here and this meant something, and it matters, and it matters.